There are many myths that only seem to exist thanks to some good marketing. Healthy fruit-based snacks are absolutely not one of your 5 a day. Most healthy cereals aren't healthy and they're loaded with added sugar. Head & Shoulders may be an anti-dandruff shampoo but won't remove 100% of dandruff. And once upon a time, marketing tried to convince us that cigarettes were physician approved.
It's toasted.
An old example would be the myth of caffeine stunting growth, a complete lie that's existed since the 1800s. It's not based on anything scientific, instead it was a claim used in advertising by C.W. Post, a producer of cereals and a malt-based drink called Postum. The goal was simple: demonize coffee while providing an alternative, and Postum apparently made C.W. Post a fortune. This wasn't even the only health claim they made, as they also said coffee was evil, it depressed kidney and heart function, it was a nerve poison, caused nervousness and indigestion. This absolute nonsense was used in C.W. Post advertising for decades. The coffee stunting growth became a widely accepted fact. There are many reasons not to give coffee to children, but stunting their growth isn't one of them. Nowadays Postum is still for sale, but let's be honest, most people have never tried it or even heard of it. Another caffeine myth is seen with Alpecin shampoo, a German brand that, despite looking like a bottle of engine oil, advertises that their shampoo can help reduce hair loss thanks to the inclusion of caffeine.
The growth phases of the hair roots get shorter and shorter.
And Alpecin with caffeine is able to prevent that?
Indeed. By using it, you normalise the growth phases of the hair roots.
Thank you, very clearly not dubbed foreign professor. This claim was the basis of their UK advertising campaign in the 2000s and is still featured prominently on their website and branding. But in 2018, the UK's Advertising Standards Authority ruled that the company was not allowed to use this claim in their advertising, as they failed to provide proof that its product helped reduce the rate of hair loss. While Alpecin includes plenty of studies on their website, the results of these studies are dubious at best. Some results suggest that there are some benefits, but it's still inconclusive. Alpecin can still use these claims outside the UK, but the claims of preventing hair loss has been dropped from their advertising. Other shampoo brands like Planter 39 that include caffeine tend to advertise that their products will fix damaged hair and improve colour, but that's just on Boots' website. On sites like Amazon, they will list their products as preventing and reducing hair loss. Planter 39 is specifically targeted at women that suffer from menopausal hair loss. Apparently 70% of women agree that they had less hair loss with it, but out of 284 people it's hardly conclusive. Results for products like this vary from person to person, and you can't rely on shampoo to fix hair loss anyway, but this hasn't stopped other products from using these claims too. And of course, being the wild west of shopping, Amazon has dozens upon dozens of shampoos that claim they reduce hair loss, including Alpecin. If you're unfortunate to have a smartwatch or Fitbit, you're probably familiar with your device telling you you've been too lazy and haven't hit your daily goal of 10,000 steps. Trying to find the origins of this arbitrary goal apparently wasn't just a marketing gimmick, but was the original name for the device, as it was known as a Manpo K. Translated into English, this literally means the product was called the 10,000 steps meter. The device was made by Dr. Yoshiro Hatano, who also used this number in its marketing, which is seen as being round, catchy and easy to remember. Another possible explanation is the significance of the number 10,000 in Asian cultures. In languages like Chinese, Japanese, Korean and Vietnamese, the phrase 10,000 years translates to myriad years and is used to wish long life. While this is interesting, this could just be a coincidence. For the goal of walking 10,000 steps a day, this was put forward in 1963 by Dr. Iwo Oya. He was concerned with Japan's low level of physical activity in the run-up to the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, so his solution was for everyone to walk 10,000 steps a day. As far as I can see, there was no testing or studying to determine the ideal number. According to the internet, the Japanese character for 10,000 looks like a man walking if you think humans have backward ankles and no head. The goal of 10,000 steps a day has been widely disputed for many years, and from what I've read, 7,000 or even as low as 3,000 steps a day is enough to live a healthy lifestyle and reduce the risk of death. Similar to walking 10,000 steps a day, another thing you may see on your fitness tracker is drinking 8 glasses of water a day. Even now, it's still used as a baseline for how much water you should ideally drink in a day. The origins of this number appears to be from a statement by the US Food and Nutrition Board published in 1945. It was based on no research or studies to back up this figure, and once again, it seems to have been plucked out of thin air. Now, drinking water is a good thing, obviously. The problem with a figure like this is that everyone is different. They have different body types, living in different countries with different climates, doing different levels of exercise. What works for one person isn't going to work for everyone. It's another myth that has been widely debunked. And unlike the 10,000 steps myth, this is impossible to track, as food contains water which goes towards the 8 glasses a day, and so do drinks like tea, coffee and Postum. Easily one of the most misleading ways to market a food product is to claim that it's healthy. Nowadays, you can simply rip off an existing product, reduce the calories, add chocolate, and call it a healthy lunch. But back in the late 80s and early 90s, fat was the enemy.
Fat. For years, people have tried to hide it. Stuff it. Even burn it.
Experts led us to believe that a high-fat diet would result in high body fat, so low-fat products flooded the market that, on the face of it, seemed healthy. Instead, they were chock full of refined carbohydrates in order to make their products taste good, but they were also very high in calories. One of the worst offenders was a brand called Snackwells, beamed as being a healthy low-fat snack. There's even a term named after them called the Snackwell effect, as people eating low-fat snacks would eat more thinking they were healthy, only to make the problem worse.
Check his trunk!
You don't want to do that.
What an odd thing to say.
Products such as these have been linked to America's obesity epidemic, but I'm left thinking the mass adoption of high fructose corn syrup likely didn't help. Snackwells weren't the only low-fat snack, but they were the most infamous. There was also low-fat Twinkies, fat-free Pringles, and low-fat peanut butter. Products like the fat-free Pringles and Wow Chips included Elestra, a fat substitute that caused diarrhea and anal leakage.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
These products had to be recalled, but most of them were just discontinued. Fat-free products are still a thing, but the surrounding buzz has pretty much died. That hasn't stopped anyone from advertising products as being healthy when they're clearly unhealthy. Nutella tried to convince us that it was nutritious because it contained milk and kind of tasted like hazelnuts, until you actually read what's in a single jar. And Belvita biscuits are a decent breakfast replacement and would keep you full for 4 hours. This claim is no longer on the packaging, and each serving had 9 grams of added sugar. Today, I like to think that we're well aware that orange juice isn't healthy. Since the early 20th century, orange juice has been advertised as being a nutritious drink, but most varieties are loaded with sugar, lacking vitamins, and not the equivalent of eating an actual orange. But one product that took the absolute piss was Sunny Delight. Back in the 1990s, this was pitched as being a healthy alternative to soft drinks. The branding did everything it could to be cool, showing grown adults disguised as teenagers, playing volleyball, football, and mountain biking, having a much more appealing look compared to other orange juice brands. It was the liquid death of its day. One of the old US commercials even included a pre-American Pie Stifler.
Well, polish my nuts and serve me a milkshake.
Plus, parents thought they were feeding their children something healthy, as the adverts were plastered with claims the drink included vitamins A, B, and C and was made with real fruit juice. In 1998, the drink arrived on this side of the pond with a huge £10 million marketing campaign, and Sunny Delight quickly rose to become the third most popular drink in the UK behind Coke and Pepsi. But in 1999, the brand would become infamous when a young girl in Wales had her skin turn orange after consuming 1.5 litres of Sunny Delight a day. This controversy occurred just 2 days after Christmas, and they were still airing a festive Sunny Delight advert that showed snowmen turning orange after drinking Sunny Delight. Unsurprisingly, sales dropped in the UK by a third. And despite the claims that this was a healthy beverage, the drink was found to include just 5% fruit juice. A number of adverts showed children and teenagers reaching into the fridge to grab Sunny Delight too, but this was a product that you didn't need to store in a fridge. By the early 2000s, the branding had shifted away from advertising this as a healthy drink, with new ads being a bit less wholesome and trying to be more awesome, falling in line with early 2000s brands like Surge and Old Mountain Dew. The brand changed its name from Sunny Delight to Sunny D and has since reformulated the recipe twice. They've been bought and sold to private equity firms and have entered new drinks categories, but this is a brand that rose quickly, fell hard, and just never recovered.